Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are very pleased if you're a Patreon patron, and thank you for your support. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can sign up for a Twitch Prime account and link the two. It will cost you nothing, and Amazon/Twitch will pay us something. So you can support us just by linking those two accounts. The instructions are in the show description below. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe on YouTube and get the show real time. If you aren't an Amazon Prime member and you just can't deal with funding this show, you're watching this a week late on YouTube, we thank you for your interest, and I insist that you follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. But other than that, that's the price of admission. So thank you for joining us. Let's get on to today's question. Okay, we had a question from just about everybody. What do we think of switch OLED or switch hold? I think that there was some disappointment that it wasn't an overpowered switch. I think a lot of people expected a faster microprocessor. And just to put this in context, from non-tech guy to non-tech audience, it's not a difference in output, it's a difference in display. So the graphics output's the same, the display is just sharper and better and bigger. So you go from, I think, 6.2, something like that, 6.2 inch screen to 7, which is a marginal improvement, but nice, big. I mean, it's, that much bigger. You go from 32 gigabytes of flash to 64. That's nice. You can put more games on your Switch. They charge $50 more, but it's that OLED screen, super sharp. And if you haven't seen one, go down to a Best Buy and look at an LG OLED. They're really impressive. It's funny because Samsung ripped off the idea and they make something called QLED, and it's not OLED. The O stands for organic, but the OLEDs are much sharper. They're also super expensive. So it's kind of surprising that Nintendo is able to make this thing for only $50 more. My guess is Nintendo's not making very much money on these things. So if you're going to buy one, buy it because it's cool. But the surprise was that it didn't change the output to your television. So if you use the Switch OLED on your TV, you're getting virtually no benefit. The biggest benefit is you have more storage in the device, but you're not getting any benefit. The games aren't going to look any different on your television than they did before. So what this really tells me is a lot more people than most of you think use a Switch as a handheld only. You would never buy this thing if you were console only. If you only are buying a Switch to put it in the docking station and connect to your TV, you don't need the OLED. Buy the regular Switch. If you're buying it because you want to play a beautiful game with a beautiful display, then absolutely buy the OLED. So it really is a matter of display, not a matter of output. And the OLED screen just makes everything look better. The reason that LG is able to sell TVs, and they're literally like $3,000, I mean, they're expensive. The reason they're able to get that is regular old broadcast, 4K TV looks amazing. HD TV, regular HD and 4K looks amazing in OLED. And as I said, go down to Best Buy and look at one, and it'll convince you. You don't have to look at the Switch. Look at an OLED TV, and it will convince you want to switch OLED. So I think people are disappointed. My guess is a Switch Pro is coming. I think that Nintendo's probably going to hold it off until sales of the regular Switch start to turn south, start to decline. They originally were forecasting like high teen millions, per year. They did 28 million last year, almost 29 million. They're guiding to 25 this year. There's just no reason to discontinue the current model. It has no price cut, $299. So no reason to discontinue the current model. Now they introduce the OLED at $349. When they start seeing total demand dip below 20 million and below 15 million, that's when they should announce the Switch Pro. And that's when they can cut the price of the Switch from $299 to $199, the Switch Lite from $199 to $149, and they can introduce the Switch Pro at $299. I think they'll make plenty of money. So I expect probably not fall of 22, but maybe, but for sure fall of 23. I mean, I think what they'll probably do, if I had to bet, next year the OLED will drop to $299 and the regular Switch will drop to $249, and they'll keep the Lite at $199. You have 3 choices. The next year they'll discontinue the Switch, but they'll phase it and it'll drop to something dirt cheap. They have contracts. I mean, they're gonna run it out. They have contracts, and ultimately, I agree. They'll just make I will bet anything OLED screens are in tight supply, so they probably aren't going to be able to make as many as they want. But this OLED thing could actually boost sales. You might actually see a bunch of existing Switch owners step up and buy an OLED because what the hell, get a better display. And if you're a handheld player, to me, it's like the PSP versus the Vita. You know, like you bought the Vita because the screen was so much more beautiful. So that's my take. Who knows? I'm never right, but I do the best I can. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Particularly if you are a Patreon patron, thank you for your support. Thank you if you have figured out how to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account. We're getting paid by Amazon. That's great of them to support us. Thank you if you are a YouTube subscriber, and if you are neither a YouTube subscriber or a Patreon patron and you're too lame to figure out how to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account, at least let's have a follow on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Let me know that I shamed you into following me, and I will give you a shout out on Twitter. Thanks again. See you next time.